Hello and welcome once again to my YouTube channel Dimpy 101. So today we are going to continue with from our previous videos that we did two part of the series on how to build a obstacle avoidance vehicle or a robot. And we in the previous videos we have already shown on how to install and configure Raspberry Pi single board computer and how to write a single program, which is just as you see on the screen, which we did in our previous video on how to blink LEDs in a pattern, which will be after 0.5 seconds time difference. So now we are going to proceed further. We are going to go ahead and add our motors, and the concept is the same. We are going to use the same GPIO output, and but the difference this time is that instead of 2 GPIO output pins, we're going to use 4 GPIO output pins, which means we have two motors. One GPIO output for each motor will be for forward, and one GPIO output for each motor would be reverse. So we're going to use 4 GPIO output pins, one for forward each and one for reverse each, and then we're going to program it accordingly. Now let's go ahead and start with the program. So if you see on the screen, we have GPIO output 3 and 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to use different GPIO output pins, that is 35, 36, 37 and 38. The reason is nothing more but because they are together on the board and it's easy for us to identify which is which. So 35, 36, 37 and 38. So 35 and 37 are going to be our forward pins, and 36 and 38 are going to be our reverse pins. So let me just go ahead and remove this. Okay, so what we'll do is we will run our motor forward for, let's say, 3 seconds, and then we will run it in reverse for 3 seconds. So to do that, first of all, I need to do is to run it as forward for 3 seconds, which is GPIO dot output 35 is equal to true. This is GPIO dot output 37 is true. GPIO dot output do not run 36 false, and GPIO dot output do not run 38, so we will mark it as false. Okay, and then we will wait for 3 seconds, and then we will cancel out our pin number 35, and we will cancel out our pin number 38. I'm sorry, 37. Okay, so our pin number 35 and 37 are cancelled out, which means is that it will be stopped. So let me just go ahead and introduce you to my motors or the vehicle. So this is my RC car, which we're going to configure. So I'll just give you a little bit of introduction about this. This is a regular RC remote car which I have ripped apart, and I have made changes to it for this project purposes. So let me just go ahead and show it to you. So these are two motors which are geared motors, and they are going to run our two rear wheels. So this is a rear wheel drive. So now if you see here that there are wires with these two, and there are wires, and this is our battery pack which comes with the I'll just show it to you. So this is our battery pack which comes with our all the regular RC cars. So I have put, let me see, 4 AA batteries in it, which will provide us the power for running our motors. So that would provide me around 6, that should provide me around 6 volts, 6.5 volts. We will check that. Check. So we have 4 motors, and then we will just go ahead and use this for our project. So let me just go and screw this on. I think I dropped the screw somewhere. Okay, let me just screw this on again. Okay, and now this is our on-off switch, which provides the power to the motors. And if you see, this is a wheel, this is a single wheel which rotates 360 degrees, and it's a free wheel, it is not powered. So I've just tied it up with a couple of zip ties here so that it can spin my motor left and right. So this is the entire setup here, and this is a regular RC car, and if you see, there is nothing much to it. This is our H bridge. So I'm going to put our breadboard here and our Raspberry Pi board here later on. Now this is our H bridge. It has power on it because I have powered on the battery pack from this. And now this is our 12 volt, this is our ground, and this is our 5 volt. These 4 pins are going to be for input from the Raspberry Pi, and these pins are output for our motor. So this is a dual channel H bridge which supports 2 motors at the same time. So I have this one for the left motor and this one for the right motor. So now, as I've already done the programming for it, I'm going to plug in our Raspberry Pi to this. So I will just go ahead and bring my cables. So I have 4 female to female cables. So let me just go ahead and wire them up. So I have 4 female to female cables which I'm going to plug it in. So this will go in 35 and 36. And this will go to 37 and 38. Okay, so these are plugged in. Now I will connect these to our H bridge. And I'll plug these to the rest of the 4 pins to our H bridge. Okay, and now the motor channels are already, this is for the left motor I have already connected. This is for the right motor which I have already connected, and here it says 12 volts. This comes from the battery pack already. This is ground, so I have pulled. So this is one ground which will go to the Raspberry ground, which is the pin number 6. And the other ground goes to the battery pack. So this is the 6 volt positive battery pack, and this has ground. One goes to the battery pack and one goes to the Raspberry Pi ground, and this is a 5 volt which will connect to the Raspberry Pi 5 volt pin. So I will show you the diagram here so you can follow this diagram. It should be very easy. Okay, now The all wiring is done here, so I'm going to flip it over so that we can test our motors if they are running or not. And I will run our program. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but these motors are running in reverse. That means I have to flip the cables here on the Raspberry Pi. So the one which goes to 35 and 36 will now go to 36 and 35. So I'll have to flip the cables, the wires on Raspberry Pi. Here, and the same thing I'll go to the one which was connected to 37 and 38. Okay, so we have plugged it in. So let me just go ahead and run the program. Okay, so this runs in the forward direction. Now this is our program which runs our motors in the forward directions. So similarly, I will just go ahead and do it for reverse. All I have to do is I have to false, 36 will be true, and 38 will be true. So this will do our false, I'm sorry, the reverse, and here I will make them false, and I will wait for 1 second, or let's say 2 seconds, and I will print moving forward. And here I will print moving reverse. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this program. Forward, 2 seconds, and moving reverse. So this, now our program is running absolutely fine. We have moving forward and moving reverse programs. So what we are doing here is we are running our motor forward and we are running our motor in reverse. Now these are the programs which we will need to use in our Raspberry Pi functions time and again. For example, if our motor or if our robot has detected to move forward and it is not detected any obstacle, so it will have to move forward. But if in case it detects something which it will see it as an obstruction, it will either move reverse, or it will take a left, or it will take a right. Now that I will discuss in the further videos on how to make use of the same code again and again, and also we will discuss how to do left and right. So if you have liked this video, please like it and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos. Till then, goodbye.